Cool. Welcome to another episode of Disney Dust. It's Tony, and he's back, and we're back with our reviewer ears to review Finding Dory. So, Tony, what did you think? Did you, by the way, know that it earned over the week $136 million at the box office?
I did not know that.
That is crazy. They were estimating it would overtake, like, maybe the number one, and it really did. I just can't believe that. For a sequel, this is like, it's crazy. And so what did you think of the movie in general? We'll talk about stuff, non-spoilers, and then after that we'll get into spoiler territory as a whole.
Well, like you said, it's a Pixar sequel. So I think out of all the Pixar sequels, I mean, aside from Toy Story, because Toy Story is amazing, with, what's it called? Cars 2 and Monsters U, this fits in perfectly. Because if you like those movies, you're going to love this. Right. I personally thought it was a good movie, but this was not a Pixar movie. This was if this had DreamWorks in the beginning, I would have believed it 100%, and I would have thought it was a good movie. Right. But this isn't Pixar quality. This isn't the Pixar company that really just built an empire.
Right. I think it's safe to say that we both expect more from Pixar. Yeah. And lately, with The Good Dinosaur, Inside Out, not really.
Yeah,
right?
Inside Out, honestly, I just felt like this is the best we're gonna get right now. So let's just take it. This is great, sure, but it wasn't anything special. I mean, it took it really an hour long to get really into the film and for us to actually feel something.
Exactly. I felt it was a lot of a repeat of the whole, like, the Finding Nemo theme. Yeah. Like, a lot of the just finding Dory's parents is the same as Finding Nemo, except that there weren't enough stakes. Whereas with Nemo, it's like, he's gonna die. But Dory's parents, they might already be dead. So, honestly, there wasn't, like, an antagonist that was sort of, like, the opposing force. And a lot of things happened very randomly. I felt they got out of situations too miraculously, in fact, because there are a lot of times they had to hop, like in the human environment especially, they had to get from place to place, and it was just like crazy how they could get from place to place.
And also, just in the first Finding Nemo, the world seemed so big, and in Finding Dory, it seemed so small. I mean, it took them, in the first movie, it took them the whole movie to get from the Great Barrier Reef to Sydney. Yeah. In this movie, they're going from Australia to California, and they do it in about, like, I don't know, 2 minutes.
I know.
So how was that a thing?
Yeah. I did like the little Sigourney Weaver voice that came in.
Loved that.
I mean, the mention of Sigourney Weaver first, I was like, what is she gonna do with this movie?
Yeah.
And then we find out it's part of the Marine Life Park, which she voices.
Is
that a real thing though?
Well, it's just when you go to, like, theme parks, how many times is like I'm Whoopi Goldberg and welcome. Right. It's like, I love that kind of stuff. Like, because I love theme parks. I work in the theme park business, but I just think it's fantastic. Like, that they were just, almost not making fun of theme parks, but really poking fun at theme parks. Also, I actually loved how this movie wasn't like, down with aquariums, because it could have went into that route, but it didn't.
Exactly.
But I love how, like, when Dory looks at the park map and she's like, oh my goodness, she's like, how could you do this whole park in one day? I'm like, I love that. I love it.
Exactly how I feel about, especially about Shanghai Disneyland coming up. I'm like, I'm gonna do this in one day. Yeah. What did you feel about Marlin and Nemo's part in this movie?
So I know a lot of people like Dory, but Marlin is my favorite character. I just think Marlin's such a relatable person, or fish. And just all of his lines to me were the funniest. Like when he's like, when Nemo's like, I trust Becky, and he's like, Becky's eating a cup. Like, I was like, I just love that realistic sense of humor. And just like when the sea lions are howling for Becky, which is also Becky's fantastic character. But when they're howling for Becky, and Nemo's like, what are they doing? And Marlin's like, I don't know, it sounds bad. Like, it's just, I love that. That to me is funny.
Yeah. I just want to say, though, if you're expecting all the same characters from Finding Nemo and the same feel, it's going to be different. I mean, the characters are there, but there's so much on the sides. Yeah. Right now, there are a whole new cast of characters, which we'll talk about. They're exciting. Yeah. But this world was anchored on Dory, so it was really different. Because of her memory loss, it's a little bit of, like, there's no anchor. I felt lost many times. Like, it keeps going round and round in circles.
Oh my God.
Sometimes a little bit annoying, too.
The movie feels like it's never going to end. I mean, at one point, I'm like, Marlin, Nemo, you know what? It's not meant to be. Go on with your lives. Yeah. You're not gonna. I mean, it's just. And Dory doesn't even remember them half the time. She literally, when she goes from the aquarium, they don't exist. They don't matter anymore. Yeah. You could literally be like Marlin and Nemo to her face, and she'd be like, well, I gotta do this right now. Like, literally, like, she was. And of course, like, it makes sense. She's trying to find her parents. Yeah. But, like, at the same point, it's like if my friend did help me, like get to the place, and I got separated from them, I'd be like, okay, I'd be going crazy right now. I would still want to find my parents, but I want to make sure my friends are okay too. They just risked their lives to get here. You know what I mean?
Well, and there's a whole scene actually between Marlin and Nemo and what they did that was cut out. So hopefully that'll be in the DVD. But I just have to say that the animation itself was pretty spectacular. They're
beautiful.
Onto new technology right now, so they've transferred onto a new software. It's open software too, and they reanimated that whole scene where Dory meets Marlin, which is pretty cool. We get a whole brand new take on that scene.
Yeah, and even the beginning scene was really, really cool.
Dory's so cute as a baby. You're talking about that one?
I love that. Yeah. I just thought it was adorable. I was actually talking about the short. How the short is
Piper.
So well done.
Yeah.
It looks real. Like literally, if you take out all the cartoon, main characters in this, and you put in real people, it would look like a live action movie. That's how well done the scenery is in this. Film.
I felt like the short had a more powerful statement than Dory did in that short amount of time. I mean, both were about 100%. In some ways like facing your fears. Like Dory's facing her fears to overcome them. The little bird was facing his fears too, and it's like the beauty in facing your fears. So the bird saw the beauty of like what happened underwater when he was like, I don't know, like I just thought. That short stole the scene. Yeah,
it's so funny though because I told my friend when we were watching it, I told her, I'm like, oh my goodness, I just forgot. And she's like, what? And I'm like, we have to sit through a Pixar short. Because I hate Pixar shorts.
Really?
However, this one was fantastic. And I'm like, I love this. Oh my goodness, this was adorable. And Finding Dory came and I was like, that wasn't great.
Yeah.
The short was better. The short is worth the admission ticket, I think.
Let's talk about the characters, some of the new characters. What did you think? I don't know their names, but I just loved how one was blind and one had the sonar thing to see. I think they worked so well together.
I think what's her name was Destiny. The whale's name was Destiny because they kept making... I thought that was a very clever joke, the Destiny joke, was like the play on words. I thought it was clever.
And even the pail, your destiny, you're going to like... Yeah.
Which I don't know if you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Do you watch that show?
Mm-hmm. No, not really, actually.
Well, the girl in that is the voice of Destiny, the whale. And I thought that was so crazy because Always Sunny in Philadelphia is the complete opposite of any Disney thing. And I just thought it was just so adorable that this one was playing this whale. And also the dad from Modern Family is the...
There's a lot of Modern Family people.
There's a lot of... Yeah. And you could tell because their voices kind of... Like, well, here's the thing, though. For the octopus, it didn't really bother me. Right. For the whale, I was like, okay, you can tell this is like, I think Ty Burrell. You can tell it's Ty Burrell. And I was like, okay.
They actually cast this movie based on Ellen's guests. So when it Andrew's done it? Yeah, he kind of reviewed clips and just to test chemistry of voices and everything. It's a little known fact. I think I'm going to put a link in the video description below where I got information about
that's so interesting.
Some of these things about the cutscenes and stuff like that. Yeah, really cool stuff. And what do you think about the Hank?
Hank the octopus. I thought he was the villain in the beginning. I know. Well, my friend did. And I was like, I don't know if he's going to be the villain, but he reminded me a lot of the old man from Up. Like, he was grouchy, and then all of a sudden, he learns to love. He learns to have a heart. 3 hearts.
Yeah, that's a really cool fact.
Yeah. And I think we learned a lot from this film about marine life. So good on you, Pixar, for teaching us something.
Yeah. Well, he's supposed to represent also like everything that Dory didn't want to do. Apparently, I read something about that.
I love the sea lions. The sea lions were my favorite. Fun. Like they were just fun, and I love when they were saying, to the Travis, the one with the bucket.
Poor guy trying to come up.
Off. I'm like, that's hysterical because that's like the seagulls going mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so clever. Like this is like that reminded me of like Finding Nemo humor, and I was like, this is fantastic. This is why I love Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is actually one of my favorite Pixar films. It's actually my favorite.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so well because people love Finding Nemo, and finding Dory's their favorite character in that film. So to see her again, that's why people are spending money, and they knew this. This is why they made this film.
Yeah.
They just didn't think of, well, let's put an actual story into it. Let's actually write something good. They could have literally had a whole thing of just Dory swimming around in a circle, which is basically this film, and people would pay for it, which they did. So, good for you.
Unfortunately, we didn't see much of the old cast, like Crush and Squirt.
We do. They're in it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And they don't need to be. They don't need to be in this film at all.
And what did you think about the ending?
I hated it.
Really?
I hated the ending so much.
Oh gosh.
First of all,
I hate parts when they get on dry land in general and interact with the humans, or rather try to move Anyway, this was just taking it like out of the world.
Well, like I mean, octopuses. It has been proven that octopuses can do like weird things, like sneak out and things. Like, so that's kind of true. But they can't drive a car. You know, they can't drive a car like, and then all of a sudden to like make the car drive like on the wrong side of the road and like almost get into an accident. I'm like, this is irresponsible. I don't know why we're watching this. And then to have all the otters line up and the car stop, which they wouldn't have stopped. Those otters would have died. Yeah. It was almost like, look how adorable accidents are. Oh, so cute. Like, I just didn't understand why they had to make this scene. And when that truck flew over the edge and landed in the water, that's when I was like, I'm done. Check, please.
I know. They could have ended where Dory actually found her parents, right? Like, I thought that was a whole extra scene which really didn't need to be there, and it's not even believable.
Which they were playing it like the parents were dead.
Yeah.
But I didn't believe it for 5 seconds. I'm like, Dory, keep looking. They're around here somewhere. Just keep looking. And when they did find it, and the whole shell thing. First of all, I love the parents. The parents were actually one of my favorite characters, and little Dory was my favorite as well. But when they did find the parents, and that scene when they just look, when the camera zooms up and you see all the shells like from all the different parts of the ocean,
you realize how far they've been going out to look.
My heart sank, and I'm like, this is beautiful. Like this. That's Pixar. That right there was Pixar. That was magic. You know, and it wasn't like in your face, you know, like, you know, cry, cry, cry. It was just so simple and just beautiful. I loved it. It was my favorite scene of the whole film.
Yeah.
But then they ruined it with the giant truck flying over the edge and all of a sudden the doors open, which that didn't make any sense because they said that the doors couldn't open because the lock was from the outside. So when the doors flew open, the whole scene was a mess. I thought the whales were gonna die from the truck.
Yeah.
I literally thought everyone was gonna die at the end. Right. And I'm like, this is the end.
So what did you think of the end where Dory was looking out at the view, and with her line about,
if this was a Batman comic book, I would understand. But this isn't a Batman comic book. This is, you know, an animated movie for a big, big company. When she said, it was just so corny, like when she looks at it and she's like, wow, what a beautiful view. It's unforgettable.
They just wanted to tie into the end song by Sia. What's her name? Yeah,
I don't care. I'm waiting to go away.
Another jazz song.
I want nothing to do with it. Like, bye.
So no more sequels. Maybe an animated series
no more sequels,
or something.
Please.
The flashbacks worked really well, by the way.
The flashbacks were great. I love the flashbacks. The best part of the films, I thought, were the flashbacks. It reminded me of Man of Steel. Had the best part of that movie was the flashbacks.
Right. Reminded me of Once Upon a Time.
Exactly. But however, this movie was basically like editing at its best. It was like, let's do a scene here of, you know, back in time, and then put a Marlin and Nemo scene, and then put a Dory scene, and then back. It was like I don't know where we're going. I was losing track of where I was. You know, I kind of wish the film had nothing to. I wish. And this is horrible. I wish Nemo and Marlin weren't in the film.
Yeah, it's a different story, a different world.
I wish it was before she met Marlin, because my favorite aside from the shell scene, I love the scene when Dory actually sees the boat that took Nemo and it goes over. I'm like, oh my god! Like, I got chills in the beginning. I'm like, this is fantastic. I wish it ended with that.
And lastly, what did you think about the? I thought there was really going to be more of the lesbian couple. I mean, and everybody's reaction to it and like wanting to boycott Disney for it. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's time though. I mean, even if this wasn't the space, which it really wasn't, it is still time. I mean, if anything, Ellen is lesbian. I mean, like, you know, if there's any gripe at all, it should have been on Ellen, if anything, and not this sort of ambiguous couple.
Yeah, which I mean. I'd be in full support if there was an actual lesbian couple in this film. I don't think there is. I literally think... I mean, that scene is just so short. And when it actually happened, I'm like, oh my god, here's the scene!
Yeah.
It
was really short.
That was it? I'm like, if anyone even saw... Like, I don't know if it... I don't know if it was a girl. I don't know if it... Like, I don't know if they were just friends. It was just so fast that you couldn't even see anything. It could have literally been sisters. It could have been best friends. There was nothing that said those two were in love. And even if they, like, I'm all for, you know, integrating realness now into films, you know, especially like people want to see themselves in these films, especially like little kids films. You know, people want to see themselves. I totally believe that one day there is going to be a lesbian princess or a gay prince.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I cannot wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, it took us so long for there to actually be like an Asian princess and a Native American princess and an African American princess,
Latina princess, and also with Moana, there's going to be a Polynesian princess. So
that's great. So I'm excited to see like what things are going to come, because like there's so many people. Why not represent everyone? People want to see themselves when they watch these films, especially with Disney. Like, you know, Disney is just I feel like so open and so magical. And if Disney opens to you know, not like teaching people about other people, people are going to become more open because it starts with their childhood. And if they see that there is nothing wrong, but if they see that there's nothing wrong and it's totally normal, like the world's going to be better.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to think it's different, and they're like, oh well, it was in Finding Dory.
Yep.
You know.
So there we have it. That's our review of Finding Dory. What would you say out of 10 stars yours would be? I'm gonna say
4.
Really?
5.
A fail?
5.
I'm close to a 5.5 maybe for the technology.
Yeah.
But in other news, the latest Finding Dory playset for Disney Infinity is out, and that closes the game. The game is going to be closed. It's not doing well in Disney terms. And also, you can get your Finding Dory magic bands available for a limited time at the parks. And there's one more thing. Oh, there are Finding Dory toys that float, so kids will have fun with that.
That's fun.
They float
Just
in water.
keep swimming.
Yep, I put a video right there. I actually played with one. I just pressed, I think it was the seal. I don't know. Anyhow, that's it. So we'll catch you next time when we review another movie. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you for having me.